Hey guys, it's been a long time since I did a first impressions video on pinball machines. So here we are. Um, the first game I'm going to kind of take a look at here is there's been so many pinball machines that have come out in the month of March here that as an operator I haven't really had time to keep up. I mean, I've been keeping up sort of, but I we have several games on order, but we'll get into that. You'll see those on the channel later on. Um, but the first one we're going to look at today is American Pinball's latest offering of Galactic Tank Force. It's an interesting theme designed by Dennis Nordman and team at, like I said, American Pinball, and it's a wacky kind of like sort of quasi 1950s in like alternate universe kind of campy, goofy, kind of funny game, supposedly. So let's take a look here. And as you can see, it comes with this weird, there's a tank treads, and there's this, when it folds down, it looks like a tank. I mean, this is the craziest pinball machine probably ever to be released. And I don't know how you would, display this in an arcade or something, because the back we don't fold the back boxes down until we move games. um I guess maybe we'd have a second one or something. I don't think we would ever do this. And it just seems to be more like a nuisance, so I'm assuming this one's not for us, even though I do like, as an operator, I like the treads and all that sort of thing to attract, people to it. um but and on these treads are basically wood panels that are screwed into the legs here, and because of that, it has straight legs. It has all kinds of design changes to accommodate this, and it has the raw thrills, excuse me, quasi uh, color changing LED T molding, which you see on pretty much every arcade game, which is always good. I know Multimorphic did something similar for their Dave and Buster's games, and I don't know if that's still available. I did notice when they were setting these games up that this lighting for the treads is actually not tied into the game itself. It actually has its own power supply, and you have to supply another plug for that. I don't know why that is the case. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. But from what I saw, it had its own power supply, which means it needs another plug into the wall. I don't understand why they couldn't just put a connector into the game and have those lights actually be controlled by the game. From my understanding, is they're not, and that kind of sucks, especially with what it is. That they're just sort of static lights. Even maybe the people that designed this, don't know that the arcade games today, those lights on the T-molding are actually controlled by the computer, and they interact with the game and stuff like that. But there is a standard version of the game. If you don't want that, um, it's a more traditional style cabinet, and it was kind of a neat little touch here. They got lights underneath the back glass that kind of illuminate the screen, the panel next to the screen, which was kind of cool. This is probably, if we were going to order one of these, this would probably be the model that we would order. It's cheaper. It doesn't have, if we're, this is cool. And as much as that's going to attract people, I don't think it's going to justify the cost difference. So, but other than that, the layout of the game, they don't show that here. Okay. Um, is not too bad. Do they have a, it would be nice if they had a top-down view of it. I guess this is what we get. You can see in the center here, there's like this space tank thing, and then in the center, this little robot guy will pop out from occasion. Um, it has, three pop bumpers, some ramps. It has, you can't really see it in this picture. Here's a better picture. It has this swinging target, which will go back and forth, which is kind of neat. We haven't seen that in a long time. Um, well, and then on top of that, this whole thing swings with the UFO, and then they got a little cow that's kind of on a string, which is actually pretty funny. I do really like that. Um, and the artwork is done by Christopher Franchi. It's very good artwork. If anything saves this game, it would be the artwork. Um, yeah, the theme is, Attack from Mars is a good piece, so maybe, you know, um, but it has a really good light show too, which you can't tell by these pictures. But one of the things I did notice is um, the light show was really good. Here's a good close up of the tank. You can see that it's a 3D printed tank, and I'm not a big fan of that, especially when you can see the lines and things. Hopefully this is prototype or something. Um, and I guess it's been suffering from air balls, and I guess they've made a fix for it. But one of the cool things is there's like this, which I think more people should do. Like, is there's like this health bar right here, and it looks literally like a health bar for each tank, and it's very intuitive. And I guess if you hit one of these targets, like there'll be one that's lit. If you can specifically pinpoint that one target and hit it, you'll get like an instant headshot or kill shot and destroy the whole tank right away, which is a pretty neat idea. And it's going to need neat ideas like that because that's a pretty big piece in the center of the play field. Um, Here's a picture of the robot guy. I don't know. I think it's the Nordman 2000 or something like that. I mean, this game is very funny. Like they did a good job on the storytelling and um, and another unique thing with this that we saw was that the screen has your video actors like Command and Conquer, like the '90s games would have, like Wing Commander stuff like that. I guess one of these ladies, I think this blonde lady right here, is actually from Mortal Kombat, and the other two are actors and workers at American Pinball. So it's not a hard no. Um, it's just there's so much other good equipment right now, and it's really in a tough spot because it's fighting for the budget that we have. And I like the theme, in general. I heard it, but in American Pinball's build quality is pretty decent. But it's fighting against things like Foo Fighters and Godfather, even that's a terrible theme, and Pulp Fiction, which is a good theme, just not for us. And you got Scooby Doo. Christ, what else is there? Um, Even the new offering from Multimorphic, which I'll probably do another video on, is actually pretty decent from Scott Tanisi with I think it's Final Resistance, which is seems like a pretty good game also. So I mean, my first thoughts on this, it's not as bad as it could be. It's probably their best offering. This is probably as close as we've ever gotten to purchasing an American Pinball. Um, and I'd have to actually play it. I'm a little concerned about a few things. The air balls and stuff like that doesn't concern me. Um, but I've played Hot Wheels, and I just didn't like it, and I don't know why. I mean, it should be a theme that we have, and it just seemed boring. I think it was mostly the software and maybe the light shows and stuff. This is the first one with the light show that really it seemed like even better than Stern kind of light show. You know what I'm saying? And it has the full color changing RGBs. What you come to expect. But yeah, I mean it's not a bad game. Probably I don't know. I haven't played it, but my first impressions are I'm cautiously optimistic. I know people complain about a lot of things on the internet, and from an operator standpoint, that's where we're going to look at things. And it's we're not like a pinball operator per se. We're an operator, unless not like a location specifically demanded this. And even then, we're going to say, hey, this is the cost of it. Where are we going to make that money back and things? So I don't know. I mean, it is unique and weird, and weird stuff usually does do good in the long run. Um, so maybe, it's a hard maybe, I'd say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm going to try to do some more first impression videos. I'm trying to make it a little easier on myself to produce these. It's just such a pain in the butt. But there's a bunch of new pinball, and if you guys want my takes on something, leave a comment down below on which pinball machine you'd like me to comment on next. And if you have any questions from the operator standpoint as to what we choose to pick, what we see in a game and stuff like that, it's it's kind of the first impressions matter, and this one isn't horrible, but we'll see. So leave a like down below, and we'll catch you next time.